So I'm really impressed. I'm sorry. So my voice is gonna shake a bit. But I went to I went to your gig in Paris last year.
The glass is back there.
Thank you.
All right, now you can see again.
Yeah. Hey, here you are. So I went in your gig in Paris in 2009, and you're still doing a lot of spoken word. And you
The gig?
yeah, and you told us about Obama's politics. How do you feel 1 year after that?
I think it's more disappointing and more heartbreaking in a way. It's not all Obama's fault. A lot of it is the fault of the American people and even to a small degree the French people for not putting enough pressure on him. I mean, the reason we got so much done when Franklin Roosevelt was president during the Depression in the 1930s, yes, times were even worse, but also Americans were a lot more like French people at that time, where people protested more, and when they were mad, they did something about it besides watch TV and get mad or update their Facebook page all night or write a blog and only other people who agree with them will read it. I mean, we need a little more than that, some non-violent action in the streets. I mean, there were people camped out in front of the Capitol building then. There were almost 2 million people joining the Communist Party, who of course were punished after the war by Joe McCarthy and Richard Nixon in the Red Scare in the 50s. But basically, the way my father, who grew up in the Depression, sees it is that Roosevelt saw far enough ahead and got scared, even though he was a very rich man and born rich. Is like, shit, we better do something for everybody or we're all going down and there may be a revolution. There is no threat of revolution now in America except maybe on the other side. We now have our own national front and they call themselves the Tea Party. And they aren't really a real party. They're mainly like an extreme wing of the Republican Party, funded by corporations and old rich families to think it's a grassroots movement. And one of the top things on their agenda is how much they hate immigrants. And they usually know enough not to say that what really freaks us out is that a black man is president. But the Tea Party got all this coverage in the corporate media, who of course is owned by some of the same right-wing rich families and corporations. The Tea Party had no members. And yet it was all over CNN, all over Fox News, the cousin of Sky TV and CBS and NBC and the others, even though other people, like people who wanted a good health care system or something like that, got no press. But then when Obama was sort of kind of halfway do the right thing with the healthcare system, the Tea Party is all over the news protesting, get the government out of my Medicare, not knowing that Medicare is a government program. And taxes are bad. That the Tea Party hates taxes almost as much as they hate Mexicans. And some of them bring their guns to rallies too. So this is a kind of a scary thing. Something that the Le Pens would understand very well. I mean, instead of Le Pen, we have Sarah Palin, who is a much more powerful figure. She's kind of a joke to most people now, but so was Ronald Reagan when he started running for president. And she is so good on TV that I fear sometime in the next 30 years, we're going to have somebody that crazy who believes it's almost the end of the world and she's there to help. Really scary stuff.
Yeah, and what do you think about the midterm election? Because it's going to be soon. What do you think?
How much of an election it even is at this point, because all the propaganda is Obama's going down and it's going to be just like Clinton after 2 years with an extreme right-wing Tea Party Congress just destroying everything he tries to do. Of course, he could bring back that silver tongue of his and try and rally the people, but it's almost stunning how little of that he does now.
You don't think that
he did not get accomplished? I'm not sure he even really intended to. If you look at what he was really saying or how he really voted in the Senate, he wanted to be in Afghanistan. He did not want a proper government health care system. And the bankers, who of course made off like bandits after the economy collapsed, they were giving their money to Obama before the 2008 election. They were not giving their money to Hillary Clinton or John McCain. They were giving it to him early. And one Washington inside journalist I know, she told me, oh yeah, Obama, after his big speech in 2004 at the conventions, he was knocking on every door of the bankers lobby in Washington saying, I'm your guy. So I don't know. The more things change, the more they stay the same. But people are hurting and they're mad, and the only official outlet they have is provided by professional bigots who can get on TV when other people can't.
So do you plan to do something for those elections, like gigs or spoken words?
Most
Or
of the gigs scheduled are in other places, Canada,
Okay.
South America. Oh boy, maybe if the election is really bad, I'll just stay in South America.
why not?
Home is where the disease is.
Yeah, true.
So
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be some other statements, although I'm not planning any spoken word tours yet. I wanted to concentrate on the band and see a little more where the dust settles with Obama, but I have lots of material now.